People are all visual animals, and seeing beautiful people or things always brings joy, which is actually a wealth code. Going back to 1995, making money is the most important thing. Taking beauty as capital, making money is not that difficult. QQ Group Number 1132822920 Keywords of the novel. I really just want to make money without pop-ups. I really just want to make money. Download the complete set of TXT, I really only want to make money. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Entrepreneurship Failure. You can only go back to the bank to work. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Entrepreneurship Failure. You can only go back to the bank to work. Golgi chicken. Perhaps if you hide under the covers and fart, a parallel world will be born, a world full of flavors. This book is a story that takes place in a parallel world. If there is any similarity, it is purely a coincidence. If there are any differences, please lie down and adapt. Anyway, don't seat yourself in the same seat. On October 8, 2012, at 12:00 p.m. Huaguahuajo Province, Hefei City. As a city in the central province, the spring and autumn of Hefei City are like the girls of Ukraine, with a short but beautiful shelf life. In order to catch the last bit of autumn's tale, the night market in Hefei has been particularly hot these days. On an unknown road on the North 2nd Ring Road, the lights were particularly bright at this time, and various night market catering stalls were neatly and orderly distributed on both sides of the road. Barbecue, fried string, liangpi, rice noodles are all available, and countless customers in strange clothes linger among the stalls, enjoying various delicacies. Faced with so many coin-throwing gods, the owners of the stalls were busy and their mouths couldn't even smile. However, something strange mixed in among them. In front of an unnamed barbecue stall, a middle-aged and elderly couple holding hands. The man held a carefully selected skewer in the other hand. There are lamb kidneys, leeks, oysters, etc., and they say to the young barbecue stall owner, "Boss, bake this for me." The young boss was staring intently at a laptop at this moment, with a thoughtful expression on his face. When he heard someone calling him, he frowned slightly. "Could you please take a look at the brand? I have self-service barbecue here. You can bake whatever you want, and the prices are all on the brand." The young boss reached out and pointed in a certain direction, only to see a billboard standing there as expected. It prominently reads, "Our restaurant is a self-service barbecue." After reading the billboard, the middle-aged man's face was filled with surprise. Is the era developing so fast that even barbecue stalls are starting to self-service? Looking at that little boss again, he has already lowered his head and turned on the computer again. The middle-aged man was about to step forward and say, "Teach the young people how to do business," but was grabbed by his aunt. "Oh my, if I ask you to grill it, then you'll grill it. It's already a few o'clock, are you sure you're ready to go to bed?" "Okay, it's important to get down to business." The middle-aged man had no choice but to put down his plate and roll up his sleeves to start working. Liu, also known as the young owner of this barbecue stall. Liu didn't care at all about the reaction of the middle-aged and elderly god here. He looked at the time and silently said, "System settlement," in his heart. Daily 6 hours, bonus of 300 yuan. Complete the 3-hour novel reading task with a prize of 300 yuan. The total bonus for this settlement is 600 yuan. The outstanding bonus has accumulated to 48,300 yuan. A series of voices echoed in Liu's mind, and a satisfied smile finally appeared at the corner of his mouth. "It's not easy. After working hard for 3 months, I have finally come close to achieving my small goal of 50,000 yuan. Let's just talk about today. Starting from 6 p.m. at the booth, until midnight at 12 p.m., it's a total of 6 hours. In order to complete the task, Liu had to endure the pain and refuse batch after batch of customers who were unwilling to barbecue by themselves. For 6 hours, trying to find a way not to do serious things. I'm really tired. I also spent a whole 3 hours reading online novels, which made my eyes ache. But all of this is worth it. Working hard for 6 hours earns an income of 600 yuan, which is equivalent to an hourly salary of 100 yuan, directly killing over 90% of white-collar workers. Thinking happily in his heart, suddenly Li Yu began to frown again. Hey, it's been so long, I still haven't figured out how to cash out the bonus. More than 3 months ago, after 2 rounds of written exams and interviews, Li Yu successfully received his first heavyweight offer after graduating from university. New Anhui Bank. That night, as soon as Li Yu was happy, he drank too much, and the next day, a clever system appeared in his mind. If you can make money, you deserve it. Li Yu immediately drifted away system attachment. This is to activate the protagonist mode, where humans block killing and dogs block slaughtering, and embark on the routine of reaching the pinnacle of life. Once the system is in hand, who has the heart to manage the offer of New Anhui Bank? After thoroughly understanding the system, is it not good to get pregnant and lay golden eggs? As a result, Li Yu became speechless, and this broken system was just a product with 3 knots. No name, no manual, no manufacturer. Li Yu, who was confused, could only keep trying and relied on his intelligence to find a suitable path. Li Yu first applied for a start-up fund of 5,000 yuan from the university's College Student Entrepreneurship Fund, and then through the relationship with the College Student Employment Office, he obtained a booth of up to 6 square meters in the night market, officially launching the entrepreneurial journey of Hanging Bee. Then, the little fish touched it for 3 months. On one's own stall, the system reward is successfully activated, and 1 hour after setting up the stall, the system reward is 50 yuan, which will also trigger some additional tasks. For example, today's task is to read a novel, with an additional reward of 100 yuan per hour, and a mysterious gift package that increases progress by 0.5%. The big gift package is indeed very mysterious. It appeared when the novel reading task was first triggered, and now it has only completed 67% of the progress. This feels like watching a video on LSP. After watching it for half an hour, my clothes are still hanging on my body and it's itching. Putting aside the mysterious gift package, the average daily income is 500 to 600 yuan, with a monthly income of over 15,000 yuan. In this city of Hefei, with an average salary of only 3,000 yuan per person, it is definitely one of the few high-paying professions. If you rate the satisfaction of this job, Li Yu gives it 99 points, deducting 1 point for fear of system pride. But now Li Yu is having a headache. After testing the system bonus redemption method 10-24 times but still failing, Li, Dixon, and Yu's mentality is about to collapse. Today rewarded a bunch of numbers, but couldn't find a way to redeem them. Is this scammer's system sold on Pinduoduo? While Li Yu was pondering, he didn't notice a figure floating behind him at any time. These late nights. Li Yu. A cold female voice suddenly sounded in her ear, and Li Yu, who was lost in thought, was frightened and shivered all over. Ah! The terrifying soprano blurted out, as if revealing something. Li Yu turned back in horror, his eyes perfectly aligned with the 2 lumps due to height issues, and his brain suddenly froze. 1 second. Li Yu, a simple, honest, and flawless student, quickly averted his gaze and looked up. A black slim-fit suit, paired with shoulder-length short hair that has been dyed dark brown, is simple and efficient. On her fair and delicate face, her fine eyebrows slightly raised, and her eyes were as slender and deep as willow leaves. At this moment, there was a hint of resentment in her beautiful eyes, as if the temperature within a meter radius had dropped a few degrees. Li Yu's expression was shocked. "Counselor, why are you here?" Li Yu's throat became dry and his calves were a bit soft. This is not the softness of LSP when it comes to seeing beautiful women, it's really softness. The person in front of me is none other than Xia Shui, the counselor who has been in charge of me for 4 years. Unlike typical university Buddhist counselors, Xia Shui is a graduate student in law and an undergraduate counselor. She has applied the concept of governing classes according to law perfectly, from class attendance to after-school life management for years. Talking too much is like tears. Humph, if I didn't come today, you would have really deceived me. This is what you told me to start a career. She pointed to Li Yu's barbecue stall and then looked at the neighboring stall. Everyone else is busy greeting customers, you're playing on the computer, and everyone else's booth is full of people. Look at your place again. After a storm of life education, Li Yu couldn't lift his head from the sharp eyes of the beautiful instructor. Baby's heart is bitter. 3 months. Do you know how I spent these 3 months? Still racking your brains. I racked my brains to innovate the only barbecue mode in the night market. Reading novels for several hours in a row. My eyes are nearsighted. Looking for people everywhere to chat and fart. All kinds of neglecting serious things, being looked down upon by people like a spendthrift. Li Yu roast in his heart while nodding his head rhythmically like a chicken pecking rice. Psychological resistance, but physical honesty. Xia Shui saw that Li Yu appeared obedient on the surface but not on the inside. Years of experience as a counselor told her that in order to make Li Yu conform to herself, she must change her mindset. Quickly skimming through Li Yu's family situation in her mind, Xia Shui continued to persuade her. Li Yu, I also know about your family situation. The path of entrepreneurship may not be suitable for you right now. Perhaps waiting for you to work for a certain amount of time, accumulate enough experience and network before starting a business, the effect will be better. Didn't you get an offer from Xinhuan Bank? Why don't you go to the bank to exercise for a few years before looking at it? Working at a bank. Li Yu, who had been racking his brains to cash out system funds, suddenly felt a bright light in front of him. Yeah, I've been tinkering around at the barbecue stall for over 3 months without making any progress. Why not try changing the venue? Even if it doesn't succeed, I won't lose anything. It's better than continuing to mess around and wait to die now. However, it's been 3 months now, shouldn't the new employees onboarding at Xinhuan Bank be over? Li Yu smiled awkwardly. Who can be blamed for this? Xia Shui's heart was also filled with anger. You should know that the offer from Xinhuan Bank is not so easy to get. At that time, New Anhui Bank only recruited 10 people at Huizhou University, and more than 100 students participated in the written test, with over 40 people entering the interview stage. The competition can be said to be quite fierce, otherwise Li Yu wouldn't have celebrated drinking too much after receiving the offer. When Xia Shui learned the news, she was also very happy. After all, employment rate is also an important assessment indicator for herself. What she never expected was that Li Yu actually stood up the bank pigeon. Xia Shui still vividly remembers that at that time, Li Yu was as determined to start a business as if he had beaten chicken blood, and his confident momentum could not be pulled back. Retrieving her thoughts, Xia Shui remained silent, and Li Yu could only stand there with a dry smile. Sorry, we are really embarrassing the protagonist of the system flow. After thinking for a moment, well, I have a friend in the Human Resources Department of Xinhuan Bank. Let me give you a call to inquire. After Xia Shui finished speaking, she took out her phone from her handbag and dialed a phone number. Li Yu's mouth twitched. My sister, you can also wait for tomorrow if you have something to do. It's late at night. In case someone is applauding for AI. Not noticing Li Yu's strange gaze, the phone was quickly answered. Xia Shui took a few steps towards the sidewalk and found a relatively quiet environment. The person she is looking for is her college classmate, roommate, best friend, and competitor. In short, the friendships between beautiful women are very complex. On the phone, there was a lazy woman's voice saying, Hey, I said Xiao Shui. You called me so late, miss me. Cough, okay, I don't have time to talk to you. I have something to ask you. Xia Shui ignored the teasing on the other side and spoke concisely about Li Yu's situation before asking. How about it, are there any issues? The girl across from her suddenly laughed even wilder after listening. Cluck, cluck, you're so good, little shue. I didn't expect you to have such a great bite. Come on, tell me how the little fresh meat tastes. Faced with such gossip about her best friend, Xia Shui could only helplessly support her forehead. However, although I am Li Yu's counselor, I am actually only 3 years older than him. As the old saying goes, a woman in her 3rd year. Ah. Xia Shui quickly stepped on the brake, and then a sense of shame flooded her heart. What was she thinking? Li Yu is his own student. My thinking has returned to normal, and Xia Shui is not a good person either. As a law graduate student, my criminal defense ability is bound to be outstanding, so I immediately counterattacked. Hee, my mind is full of fresh meat. I think you're a little girl who misses spring, right? Can't so many handsome guys in the bank still satisfy me? Why, are you scared? You're just a lamb in a tiger's mouth, you know. Be careful, I'll swallow your little fresh meat in one bite. Old author's new book. This book is slow to get hot, and the plot is gradual. Please be patient and read on. Perhaps you will find this is just a big hole. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Farewell to my beloved barbecue stall. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Farewell to my beloved barbecue stall. Looking at the beautiful counselor who was still working hard to solve his work problems in the distance, waves of warmth rose in Li Yu's heart. What a caring, patient, and warm counselor. When you get rich by fishing, you must be grateful to her. Li Yu silently made up his mind, and when he went to work at the bank, he must fish well and make progress every day. Never let down the heart of a beautiful counselor. 5 or 6 minutes later, Xia Shui finally finished the call, straightened her chest, took a deep breath, adjusted her mindset, and then turned to walk towards Li Yu. This dead girl is really getting more and more restless. I can't stand it. The scene of the 2 racing cars made me blush at the thought. Looking at Li Yu's hopeful gaze, Xia Shui raised her head slightly and smiled proudly, saying, "All right, I have already said hello to the person from the other party's Human Resources Department. Do you remember to report to the Human Resources Department within 3 days? Okay, thank you, counselor. Don't worry, I will take good care of my work and promise not to embarrass you." Li Yu was so excited after listening that he almost spoke his heart out. Looking at the young man in plain clothes with a simple and honest smile on his face, Xia Shui nodded with satisfaction. This is my good student Li Yu. The incident 3 months ago was just an accident. It's just a pity, the young man is average in height and has a somewhat ordinary appearance. Looking at the facial features, thick eyebrows, big eyes, high nose bridge, and a slightly sexy mouth upon closer inspection, there are no flaws to be found. But when their facial features come together, their respective strengths seem to suddenly disappear, and the whole face looks ordinary. It's really strange. Hey, why did I think it was wrong again? They were all crooked by the dead girl. After successfully shaking the pot, Xia Shui was in a good mood and smiled kindly at Li Yu. After graduation, don't call me counselor anymore. Call me Snow Sister. I'll give you a phone number, remember to contact her proactively. The counselor became Snow Sister, and as a simple and articulate big boy, Li Yu felt embarrassed to say it out loud. Okay, Snow Sister, could you give me the number? Li Yu shouted, "Sister," in his mouth, carefully recording his phone number and noting, Cheng Lu from the Personnel Department of New Anhui Bank, Shuijia, thank you so much today. It's so late, Snow Sister. You must be hungry too. Come and try my best grilled sausages. Li Yu, who was not good at speaking, didn't waste his time either. While Shuijia shouted not to listen, he started self-service barbecue. Although he fished every day, Li Yu also had to eat and take a break from his busy schedule. After 3 months, he still learned his skills in barbecue. Soon, fresh and fragrant skewers were placed in front of Xia Shui, grilling eggplants, chives, sausages, and scallops. Comrade Xia Shui, who originally wanted to put on the airs of his own counselor, only felt drowsy. Shui Jie, you need to eat the roasted eggplant while it's hot. Come and try it. The taste is really good. Li Yu, you are actually doing business. 10 minutes later. Hey, I'm a bit regretful for letting you go to the bank to work, otherwise I could come and hang out more often in the future. After eating dry and wiping clean, Xia Shui finally waved goodbye to Li Yu with satisfaction. The next morning, at the talent apartment in Binhu district, Li Yu opened his eyes and said at 10:30, the good days are coming to an end. Li Yu was washing up while thinking about going to the bank to work as a forced work dog, and his mood was a bit complicated. Although the barbecue stall may not look high, people are very free. The key is that their income is stable, and they can earn 500 to 600 yuan by touching fish every day. If it weren't for the inability to find a way to cash in on the bonus, Li Yu wouldn't be willing to give up such a lucrative career. I finished washing my face and brushing my teeth in 2 minutes, and then looked in the mirror for about 5 minutes. Confirming that he was still the elegant and beautiful man that no one would appreciate, Li Yu then went downstairs with satisfaction and had breakfast and lunch. The talent apartment where Li Yu is located is an independent community with a total of 20 buildings. A public welfare project funded by the government, specifically rented at a low price to newly graduated college students, with an area ranging from 15 square meters to 60 square meters. Li Yu has a single dog, and the government standard configuration is a minimum of 15 square meters of a single apartment, with a monthly rent of 50 yuan, which can be almost negligible. P.S. Parallel world good policies. If you are willing to continue living in poverty, you can rent for up to 10 years, and after 10 years, you can still go to a relief home and continue to enjoy the meticulous care of the government due to its affordability. The community is almost fully staffed, with more people than legs. Fortunately, today is a workday and not the rush hour for commuting. Otherwise, if you want to squeeze into the elevator, you would have to wait for at least 10 minutes. Li Yu has already planned to move out and live as soon as he redeems the system bonus. The place for dinner is Li Yu's favorite Lanzhou Lamian Noodles restaurant. It's not that he likes to eat noodles, it's just to appreciate the atmosphere below. After ordering a special beef daoshao noodles at the Lamian Noodles restaurant, Li Yu began to plan the next thing silently. Last night, I saw off the beautiful counselor who had eaten dry and wiped clean. It was already past 1 a.m. when I returned home, and Li Yu didn't have the energy to think too much before going to bed. Now, upon careful consideration, there are still many things to deal with. The first issue is the handling of barbecue stalls and table and chair equipment. In these 3 months, Li Yu has already figured out the situation of the night market. Li Yu's barbecue stall, as long as the craftsmanship is not bad and he is not afraid of hard work, earning over 10,000 yuan a month is still not a problem. This discovery shocked Li Yu at that time. I originally thought that these proud college students would have a decent working environment and a decent salary after graduation, which should be very impressive. However, the fact is that the salary of college students working is only a fraction of what they earn from setting up stalls. Since barbecue stalls are very profitable, transferring stalls and equipment is a simple matter. Li Yu's initial investment was only 5,000 yuan from the startup fund. Although he did not make a lot of money during this period, he also received a few thousand yuan. Once the stall is transferred and the loan is paid off, he can still make another profit. Just as I was happily thinking about how to list and transfer stalls to make a profit, the sound of the system suddenly rang in my mind. Task: find anyone to transfer the booth. Bonus: 100,000 yuan. Li Yu's expression shook, and the ecstasy in his eyes almost burst out of his eyes. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. 100,000. I worked so hard to catch fish for 3 months and only earned less than 50,000 yuan. If I had known that transferring a stall would only earn so much, how could I still catch a ball of fish? Suppressing his inner excitement, Li Yu quickly glanced at the curvy figure of the waitress girl to suppress his shock, and finally breathed a sigh of relief. After being pleasantly surprised, Li Yu began to analyze the 3-knot system of this pit father again. This is already his daily retention project for the past 3 months, but this time it's different from before. During these 3 months, the system only triggered the fishing mission when Li Yu set out at night. In addition to daily fishing at 50 yuan per hour, the rest are some additional tasks triggered during the stall. For example, strange tasks such as reading novels, scrolling through news, and talking nonsense with other vendors. These tasks can be said to be completely unrelated. Li Yu almost went bald while researching the system. When encountering a large reward for the first time, it is necessary to analyze it carefully. When analyzing the system, Li Yu first used the year-on-year analysis method, and the first difference he discovered was that the amounts were different. The previous rewards were as high as a few hundred yuan, and as low as 50 yuan, which is completely incomparable to today's rewards. Why is the difference in reward amount so large? Li Yu couldn't figure out the reason at the moment. Was it because the importance of fishing was different? Small fish catching rewards are few, big fish catching rewards are many. Silently jotting down this possibility, Li Yu began to consider how to complete the task. This is crucial. If the 100,000 yuan prize money he received flies away, Li Yu is afraid that he will not be able to bear it and smash a big stone in his chest. The system requires anyone to transfer the booth, and based on months of experience gained from fishing, Li Yu quickly identified the keyword for this task. Casually. What does casually mean? Of course, it doesn't mean defecating or defecating anywhere. Li Yu is not a casual person, but the system allows me to be casual, so I can only be casual. Barbecue stall, who comes to mind first? Li Tai. Almost instinctively, Li Yu thought of this cousin who was also honest and straightforward, playing behind his own buttocks since childhood. The reason why I think of Li Tai is because they have a close relationship, and the second reason is that Li Tai is currently working as a chef in a restaurant in Hefei City. Barbecue, isn't it also a chef? Just you. Li Yu didn't consider others anymore, otherwise it wouldn't be casual enough. The barbecue stall was transferred to Li Tai. Li Yu muttered in his heart, then waited eagerly for the system to determine the result. 1 second, 2 seconds. The amount is too large, the garbage system cannot calculate and crashes. Fortunately, Li Yu's worries were unnecessary. System. Task completed, bonus 100,000 yuan. The outstanding bonus has accumulated to 148,300 yuan. I'll strangle it. Is this the completion of the task? Robbing money isn't as fast, is it? Ha, oh, oh ha ha ha. Li Yu almost burst his underwear with a smile. Just at this time, a waitress with a better appearance and an amazing figure brought a bowl of Daoshao noodles to Li Yu. Looking at the ordinary-looking young man in front of her, who often comes to the store to eat noodles, with a silly smile on his face, the girl immediately rolled her eyes. Handsome guy, your face. Li Yu regained his consciousness and quickly reached out to take the Daoshao noodles from his sister. He still smiled at her with a smile that he thought was handsome. The girl chuckled in her heart, but in order to retain her old customers, she still wore a sweet smile on her face and said, "Handsome guy, what good thing has happened? You're so happy." "Well, it's nothing, just earned 100,000 yuan just now." Li Yu is still the simple and honest young man, speaking the truth. The smile on the girl's face suddenly stiffened, and a corner of her eye glanced at Li Yu's clothes and shoes, which added up to less than 300 yuan. The contempt in her heart grew even stronger. "Your teeth are really good, boasting is not a bit leaky. Oh, congratulations. I wish you could earn 1 million soon. Remember to treat me to a cup of milk tea when buying a house." The younger sister tried to resist the impulse of roast, said a half-joking and half-sarcastic sentence, twisted her waist and legs and turned back to the kitchen. Looking at the long thighs wrapped in tight and buttocks jeans, Li Yu suddenly remembered that he was a simple and honest young man with great potential, and his eyes couldn't be so naked. Li Yu adjusted his sitting posture, facing the back of the girl, with his eyes fixed on the middle seam without looking askance. His expression was solemn and serious, and he said, "No problem, when I earn 1 million, I will definitely come over and treat you to milk tea. Looking forward to fishing to make the protagonist handsome." End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Cousin resigns to set up a stall. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 4. This is a disease that needs to be treated. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 4. This is a disease that needs to be treated. Facing the upcoming bank fishing career, Li Yu still attaches great importance to it. Firstly, we spent a huge amount of money purchasing 2 sets of autumn clothing and a pair of casual shoes at the White Horse clothing wholesale market. After enduring the pain, I found Teacher Tony's close-door disciple, Teacher Thomas, to design a hairstyle. Accumulated expenses of 520 yuan. After the shopping was over, Li Yu looked in the mirror again and suddenly felt good about himself +1. With full confidence, Li Yu came to the Hefei branch of Xinhuan Bank. He had already arranged a meeting time with Qing Lu in advance. As the headquarters of New Anhui Bank, the scale of Hefei branch is extremely large. There are over 50 branches of various sizes and more than 1,500 employees. The branch office is located in the CBD office area of the city center and is an independent 12-story building. In front of the branch gate stood 2 large stone lions squatting, appearing solemn and majestic. The main entrance is made of huge copper alloy, reaching a height of 5 meters and a width of no less than 10 meters. The first floor lobby of the bank has 3 floors connected, reaching over 10 meters high. Above the head is a giant crystal chandelier, and the floor and walls are paved with marble tiles. Li Yu stood in the center of the hall, with only one thought in his heart. MMP, if you want to buy this building, the fish within a radius of 500 miles may be wiped out. Hello sir, may I ask what business you need to handle? Just as Li Yu was thinking about how to make money by fishing hard, a bank manager dressed in an OL uniform had already walked over with a pretty face, a smile on his face, and red lips and white teeth. I'll go, is any front desk manager so beautiful? Is the working environment in banks so competitive now? Li Yu suddenly worried that his fishing career would be blocked and long in such an introverted environment. Li Yu's mood was a bit heavy. Hello, beautiful woman. I'm here to find Manager Qing Lu from the Human Resources Department. How can I get up there? Oh, you're looking for Manager Qing. Over here, you come with me. When the lobby manager heard that he was looking for Qing Lu from the Human Resources Department, his smile suddenly became even stronger. The Human Resources Department is in charge of human resources, which is a well-established department of power. None of the people inside have a deep background. It is said that Manager Qing Lu is also the daughter of a certain tycoon. Li Yu was warmly escorted into the elevator by the girl, feeling happy in his heart. The charm of my buddies is still so online. Sitting in the reception hall of the Human Resources Department, waiting for about 5 minutes, Li Yu suddenly heard the clattering sound of high heels stepping on marble tiles outside the door. Subconsciously, he lifted his head and looked out the door. Still dressed in an OL uniform, but different from the lobby manager just now, this uniform in front of me has extremely exaggerated curves, as if it has sealed 2 fierce-chested beasts. The pressure from the pavement made Li Yu, who was several meters away, feel suffocated. Terrifying. The simple and honest Li Yu dared not look directly at the fierce beast's chest, he could only look at his face. As a result, Li Yu became depressed again. The woman in front of me is definitely a beauty disaster, with a seductive face that only carries a shallow smile. But those apricot eyes seem to be able to squeeze out water, with slightly plump red lips slightly raised, and two deep pear swirls at the corners of the mouth, like tempting caves that could arouse a man's desire to explore. We are just novice cadres on campus, we cannot withstand such a test. Just as Li Yu was secretly observing Cheng Lu was also observing Li Yu. She just wanted to see what kind of charm this kid has. How could she make her best friend Xia Shui call her in the middle of the night to arrange work for her? As for the result, to be honest, Cheng Lu is a bit disappointed. I haven't noticed my height yet, but my appearance is really ordinary. My facial features are plain and unremarkable, just like a spy in a spy drama, making me forget it at first glance. Wearing it is also ordinary, and the clothes all over my body are probably not enough to buy one of my hair accessories. Looking at oneself, well, there's no difference from most men. I want to see but dare not, and I feel embarrassed when I see it. Cheng Lu felt a wave of disappointment in her heart. In fact, she also had a bit of mischief today. This outfit and attire were all intentional by her. The purpose is to test the quality of my best friend's male friend. She wouldn't dare to dress like this on a regular basis. The male colleague in the department is not in a state today. Li Yu didn't know that a simple meeting would have so many insider stories. He was about to warmly greet and then thoroughly understand his specific job and salary issues at the bank when he heard a task suddenly come to his mind. Task: explore the entire process of the onboarding interview. Bonus: 3,000 yuan. Li Yu's expression was taken aback. It was another task that had never appeared before, and the prize money was so high. Li Yu is already familiar with fishing at the barbecue stall, but how can he fish at such an important time during the onboarding interview? A tired heart, waiting online. Li Yu was lost in thought and surprisingly did not greet Cheng Lu immediately. At first, Cheng Lu thought that Li Yu was being suppressed by her beauty, just like other newly hired boys seeing her situation for the first time, so she didn't pay attention either. Sitting naturally across from Li Yu, I began the onboarding process introduction. Hello Li Yu, I am Cheng Lu. First of all, welcome to join our new Anhui Bank Hefei branch. Our branch currently has 54 branches. Cheng Lu formulaically explained Li Yu's work arrangement before looking at him again. I saw him wandering in the sky, although his eyes were looking at him, they could tell from that look he is in a daze omega. Li Yu was stunned when facing himself. And what he is talking about is related to his future work arrangements. No one ever gets distracted in front of themselves, whether it's their confidence in their appearance, physique, or the unique nature of their work. Li Yu is the first one. Duang. Cheng Lu tapped her fingers on the table, and a hint of anger appeared in her charming gaze. Li Yu, do you have anything to say about your work arrangements? Li Yu was seriously fishing when he was suddenly called out, feeling inexplicably flustered in his heart. Like a classmate who was caught cheating during class and called for attendance. Oh, okay, I don't have any objections. Just arrange whatever you want. What can Li Yu say? He was just focused on fishing and didn't even hear what Cheng Lu was saying. Anyway, it's a bank, isn't everything he does? Cheng Lu furrowed her fine eyebrows. Beauty hates being ignored the most, no matter what the reason is. After all, Cheng Lu couldn't have known that Li Yu wasn't trying to ignore her, he was just trying to make money by fishing. There are two types of work in banks, one is marketing. This kind of job is a fat job for people with abundant resources, but Li Yu doesn't seem to be someone with such resources at first glance. Doing marketing business is definitely hard and tiring, and it's not pleasing. Another type is the iron rice bowl type. For example, back-end departments such as logistics department, human resources department, risk management department, credit approval department, etc. In addition, the tellers at branch offices are actually considered iron rice bowls. They only need to do some basic work, and the marketing task is not heavy. As long as they are not mute, their annual income will definitely not be less. With Cheng Lu's power, I dare not say anything else. It is still possible to arrange a branch teller for Li Yu, but Li Yu's attitude successfully angered her. Because the last batch of graduates this year have already completed their employment, only the Binhu Yungu branch has vacancies now. You used to start as a business manager in the marketing department, but this position has requirements. You have a 6-month probationary period, during which you need to complete the task of adding 30 million yuan in deposits or 60 million yuan in loans in order to become a full-time employee. If we cannot complete the minimum task on time, we cannot continue to hire you. This is already the most useless position on Cheng Lu's hands, and now it belongs to Li Yu. It's really scary to offend women, especially beautiful ones. Fortunately, Li Yu didn't know the doors and channels inside, otherwise he would have cried and fainted in the thatched cottage. It's not worth offending such a terrible woman for the 3,000 yuan bonus. After saying all these harsh conditions, Cheng Lu looked at Li Yu with a smile on her lips. The two pairs' swirls at the corner of the mouth seemed to feel the owner's happy mood, making it even more captivating. Cheng Lu really wanted to see the shocked expression on Li Yu's face after hearing the harsh conditions, but she was disappointed again. Because Li Yu's pupils were once again dilated, it seemed as if he had not heard what he was saying. At this moment, the sound of the system rang out again in Li Yu's mind. Task completed, bonus 3,000 yuan. The outstanding bonus has accumulated to 151,500 yuan. Hee, earning 3,000 yuan, Li Yu is in a good mood. Seeing Cheng Lu smiling at him, Li Yu also replied with a self-proclaimed brilliant smile. The smile on Cheng Lu's face gradually solidified, and her chest was heaving up and down under the pressure of Li Yu's smile. Her heart suddenly tossed and turned around Li Yu and Xia Shui. You Li Yu, you must have colluded with Xia Shui to intentionally provoke me. Cheng Lu and Xia Shui are good girlfriends, but it doesn't prevent them from competing in college until now. They are both proud daughters of heaven, so naturally neither of them is convinced. Looking at the counselor's best friend across from her with a fluctuating chest and an unattractive complexion, Li Yu felt quite puzzled. Is it because the heavy load causes difficulty breathing? This is a disease, it needs to be treated. In an instant, Li Yu thought of the hospital advertisement he had recently seen while fishing online. Chest reduction surgery, second half price. Do you want to recommend it to her? Li Yu spoke and was about to speak when Cheng Lu interrupted directly. Alright, I have something else to do today. Hurry up and report to the branch. After speaking, Cheng Lu stood up and left Li Yu with a twisted figure, stunned and stunned. It seems that there is also a problem with this lumbar disc. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Taking office immediately. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Taking office immediately. Triggering special rewards in the branch headquarters building gave Li Yu great stimulation. He had a feeling that he was getting closer and closer to finding a way to cash out the bonus. Without any delay, the next morning, Li Yu rode onto his beloved little motu. The target is naturally his new fish pond. The Binhu Yungu branch of New Anhui Bank. Li Yu's new job is a customer manager in the branch's marketing department. Probationary period. Although Cheng Lu felt like she had been fooled by Li Yu, she still didn't forget her essential job. Suppressing his embarrassment and anger, he made a phone call to the director of the marketing department at the Binhu Yungu branch. I just briefly mentioned recruiting a new account manager for the branch, but didn't say much about anything else. Because she was afraid she couldn't help but ask the other party to wear embroidered shoes for Li Yu. After asking two people along the way, Li Yu smoothly reached the office of the director of the marketing department. This is an independent office on the second floor of the branch, with a large "Marketing Director" sign on the door. Knocking on the door, opening, entering without any obstruction, smooth like silk, all in one go. Hello Director I am Li Yu, coming to report today. Simple and straightforward, Li Yu didn't know how to get close to his unfamiliar future boss in front of him. You can only listen more and speak less, and the rest will be arranged. Director He's full name is He Siming, a middle-aged greasy man in his 40s. There is a round face hanging from the round head, and a round belly below. When speaking, it always smiles, and the whole person looks like Maitreya Buddha. Hello Liu, welcome to our marketing department. Please take a seat first. He Simon chatted with Liu with a smile while carefully examining him. He actually had many doubts in his heart. Firstly, this year's college graduates have finished their job openings. Why did Liu find a job so late? Secondly, Cheng Lu, who is said to have a strong background in the human resources department, personally called herself, but did not reveal any key information, as if deliberately hiding something with reservations. As an old fogey who works in the workplace, he Simon thinks a lot and is very confused, but he doesn't ask about these privacy. Since others don't say it, take it as if you don't know and take care of it when it's time, and this favor will naturally come to you after chatting for a few minutes. He Simon personally led Liu into the marketing department office. Pop 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 pop. He Simon clapped his hands and coughed lightly, as if the leader was going to speak. Everyone, come and listen. The people in the office were also very sensible and quickly stood up to look over. Seeing Liu standing next to He Simon, everyone was puzzled. Let me introduce to you all, this is Liu, your new colleague. Liu is a top student at Huizhou University. He Simon gave a brief introduction, and Liu also observed the crowd. Everyone had different expressions, some were indifferent, while others smiled and nodded at Liu. Ha! Is there someone who doesn't seem to welcome themselves well? Liu was speechless in his heart. It was really a small temple with a strong evil wind, and there were many toads in the shallow pond. There are only 6 people in the marketing department, 3 men and 3 women, but it looks a bit complicated. I used to enjoy setting up a stall alone, just focus on fishing and don't have to worry about these messy interpersonal relationships. After introducing Liu, He Simon also introduced managers from 6 marketing departments. They are Chen Xiaoming, Zhou Shun, Wang Jiangwo, Su Lin, Song Jiejia, and Lu Wan. The situation of others is not very clear, but Wang Jiangwo and Lu Wan appear to be old employees, waiting for retirement. That is to say, there are no more than 4 people in the marketing department who can truly work. No wonder they need to hire people. After a non-nutritious introduction, He Simon thought for a moment and finally clicked on Su Lin's name. Xiao Su, you are responsible for leading Liu around. Liu, if you have anything you don't understand, you must ask Manager Su for more advice. Got it, I just got an extra cheap master. Su Lin is about 30 years old, with a slightly curled long hair that naturally falls down, running over her ears and reaching straight to her chest. On the white and round oval face, a pair of watery big eyes smiled slightly, indicating a very gentle personality. The upper body is a standard small suit from the bank, with a black jacket paired with a white shirt. The undulating mountains that cannot be covered by long hair are faintly visible, and the lower body is wearing a black knee-high skirt with black silk and high heels. Good master. Although he hasn't taught himself anything yet, Liu believes that this master must be truly skilled. Hello Lin, I will trouble you more in the future. Calling sister also has differences. Surname plus sister will show a slight distinction, while name plus sister will show more closeness. At first glance, Su Lin was the kind of young woman with a very good personality. She didn't resist the additional tasks arranged by He Simon suddenly, and with a smile on her face, she accepted a senior apprentice. The office area of the marketing department adopts a partitioned layout, with fewer people and more seats. He Simon directly arranged for Liu to sit in a position close to Su Lin. The two of them are perfectly side by side, with a 1-meter wide aisle between them. Turning their heads will reveal Su Lin's side body, making it very convenient for in-depth communication. Everything was arranged properly, and He Simon patted Liu's shoulder as a sign of encouragement before leaving the office. With Director He's departure, the originally bustling office suddenly disbanded. Two old comrades walked out of the office with water cups in hand. Chen Xiaoming and Zhou Shun, two male compatriots who were not very enthusiastic about Li Yu, started typing on the computer on their own. The youngest girl in the office, Song Jiejia, picked up her makeup mirror and began to apply makeup. She then withdrew her LV bag and didn't know why she went. Li Yu's eyes are now black and he doesn't understand anything, and he doesn't know what he wants to do. At this moment, the tasks of the system in my mind were tinkling. Task. Daily fishing costs 100 yuan per hour during work. Extra task. Chat with anyone for 2 hours, 200 yuan per hour. A new day starts with fishing. Li Yu's heart suddenly blossomed with joy. When setting up a stall, Li Yu's daily basic salary for fishing was only 50 yuan per hour. Now that he has just entered the bank and doubled it, how can he be unhappy? The bank operates a 9 to 5 8-hour working system. If you can fish all day, it would be a daily income of 800 yuan and a monthly income of 16,000 yuan. As for the additional task of chatting with others, Li Yu is no stranger, and similar tasks are often triggered during barbecue stalls. Chatting with people is also a skill. Who do you want to talk to? What are we talking about? Li Yu sorted out his thoughts, picked up his notebook and pen, and naturally sat down next to Su Lin with a chair. Lin, I'm sorry to bother you, but I have some questions that I would like to ask. Su Lin was originally organizing loan information when she saw Li Yu approaching. She immediately put down her work and looked at Li Yu with a smile, saying, if you have any questions, please ask them. Lin Jie, what are the main job responsibilities on my end? Mainly for corporate and personal loans, and also for deposit tasks, both companies and individuals can handle it. There are many other small indicators, such as credit cards, mobile banking, precious metals, third-party custody, etc. Do you have Feixin? Add a friend and I will send you the department's tasks for this year, all of which will be assigned to people. Sulin's introduction was very thoughtful, and after a detailed explanation, she even took the initiative to add Feixin. With the development of internet technology, the two fields of instant messaging in China now dominate. Feixin, with a state-owned background, is mainly used in the work field by several major telecommunications operators. When chatting privately, people tend to prefer WeChat, and the number of users and market share on both sides are basically 55. After carefully studying the work task, Li Yu suddenly felt a headache in his mind. The towering grid of bank work collapsed instantly. Fortunately, he doesn't care about good or bad performance at all, as long as he can fish for it with peace of mind. After discussing work tasks, Li Yu occasionally approached Su Lin to understand various issues. For example, how to apply for an internal bank system account, basic information about department colleagues, branch leadership, and division of branch departments. Until the reminder of completing additional tasks rang in his mind, Li Yu finally let go of the young woman who had already had a sore throat. Although the young woman has a good temper and rich experience, she can't resist Li Yu, this strong young man, coming over and over again. The chat task is completed, with a bonus of 400 yuan. The cumulative outstanding bonus is 151,900 yuan. In addition to receiving an additional reward of 400 yuan in one morning, Li Yu also gained a rough understanding of the basic situation of the bank, laying a cognitive foundation for his future fishing career. Just as Li Yu was rubbing around beside Su Lin, on the other side of the office, several people who were still in the office began chatting through Feixin. Zhou Shun said, "What's the background of Li Yu? Why did he suddenly come over? Do you have any rumors from Brother Wang? Wang Jiangwo? I only just found out." Zhou Shun said, "It's really strange that even Brother Wang doesn't know. I think he's dressed very average and doesn't seem to have any background." Wang Jiangwo said, "Well, I'm not sure about that either. Wang Jiangwo will retire in another year and has completely entered the wise mode. He has no interest in Zhou Shun's careful thinking and is perfunctory throughout the entire process." Zhou Shun didn't give up even when he encountered a soft nail, and then approached Chen Xiaoming. Zhou Shun said, "Li Yu is a bit unruly. He didn't even come over to say hello to us and just came looking for Sister Sue." End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Days of Fishing in the Bank. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Days of Fishing in the Bank. Chen Xiaoming is buried in writing materials. He is different from Zhou Shun, a wealthy second generation. The poor boy from the countryside can only change his fate through knowledge. After work, he has always believed that hard work can definitely help him achieve another leap in social class. Upon seeing Zhou Shun's chat message in Feishin, Chen Xiaoming frowned slightly. A year ago, some unpleasant memories of myself when I first entered the bank came to mind. At that time, I was also a dumbfounded youth because I didn't bow down to the old employees, and later I didn't pay much attention to the colors. It seems that no matter where they are, elderly people like to build their credibility by bullying new people. However, Chen Xiaoming has never been interested in bullying new employees. His mind is full of work, performance, and gaining recognition from his superiors. Chen Xiaoming said, "This was arranged by Director He, isn't there any problem?" Zhou Shun choked heavily and cursed Shabi inwardly. Talking about Director He all day is useless. To be promoted, one must have a cross-leadership relationship. Taking the marketing department as an example, if a customer manager wants to be promoted to deputy director, the director has no say and requires the approval of the branch president. This road is different, and Zhou Shun thought of another thing, which is Chen Xiaoming's rebellion. Zhou Shun said, "Old Wu's previous clients have all been assigned to you. Li Yu doesn't have any clients at the moment, so please be careful. Lao Wu is a customer manager who resigned recently. As people move from household to household, it is natural for someone to take over the maintenance." And Comrade Chen Xiaoming, who was the most enthusiastic in the entire marketing department, took the initiative to shoulder this important task without hesitation. In Chen Xiaoming's consciousness, as long as he works hard enough, has enough customers on hand, and makes more contributions to the branch, promotion and salary increase will inevitably be smooth sailing. Customers and work are burdens in the hands of others, but in Chen Xiaoming's eyes, they are the lifeblood of himself. With Zhou Shun's reminder, Chen Xiaoming suddenly felt a chill in his pants and was about to be castrated. I didn't receive any response from Chen Xiaoming on Feishin, and Zhou Shun's mouth slightly curved upwards. "Hee, bumpkin, you still want to play tricks with me?" Successfully instigated Chen Xiaoming, and Zhou Shun was in a good mood. There may be love for no reason in this world, but there is absolutely no hatred for no reason. Zhou Shun first inquired about Li Yu's background, and then instigated the relationship between Li Yu and his colleagues, ultimately for his own benefit. The position of deputy director of the marketing department is currently vacant, and Zhou Shun has been eyeing this position for a long time. Originally, there were 6 people in the office, but 2 retired senior cadres ignored them directly. Song Jiejia, a beautiful woman, was solely focused on literary and artistic pursuits, while Su Lin, a wealthy woman, belonged to the category of having a big chest but small wealth is easy. Only Chen Xiaoming poses a slight threat to himself, but it is only a slight threat. It's okay, no background. I really thought working hard would get me promoted. Why did Lao Wu, who resigned recently, resign? As the fruit was about to ripen, what I was most afraid of was being picked peaches, and Li Yu happened to come at this time. Li Yu feels bitter in his heart. I'm just here to fish, okay? Who has the heart to compete with you for a seat? As it was his first day at work, Li Yu didn't have any specific tasks and spent the whole morning applying for various system accounts. In the afternoon, Li Yu was seriously fishing online. The working environment in the marketing department is still very free, with 2 computers per person. One is a bank internal network office computer, and the other is an external network computer. It can read news, follow dramas, read novels, play games, and do whatever you want. It's like a fishing tool. The strongest god of war, damn it. It's useless to get married again. Can we change the way we pretend to be? In the afternoon, the system triggered the task of reading novels and fishing again. Liu could only reluctantly open the novel website and start searching for new novels. Why bother to do it? It's really not Liu trying to pretend. The first is that the novels on the website are almost identical in terms of trash and divorce. At first, it looked quite fresh, but after watching too much, I really feel nauseous. Why can't these online authors use their brains and come up with new ideas? The second is spending money. Other fishing tasks are just a waste of time, but reading novels costs money. Although it's not much, the landlord's family is not wealthy either. There is a strong awareness of copyright protection in this world, and all legitimate novel websites adopt a paid reading mode. Piracy only exists on a small scale in private, and its impact on legitimate reading is limited. Liu has already spent no less than 300 yuan to complete the task of reading novels and fishing. Heartbroken beyond oneself. Liu was feeling sorry for having to spend money again when he suddenly saw someone approaching from the corner of his eye. A click of the mouse on the old driver who is fishing, and the computer page successfully switches to the banking qualification exam page. Liu, what are you busy with? Liu looked up and saw Zhou Shunjing looking at him with a smile on his face. Oh, it's okay, I'm just looking at the content of the banking industry exam. Zhou Shun's smile deepened. Sure enough, you're also a dumbfounded young man. When someone asks if you're busy, they must be looking for you to work, but they say, it's okay. Isn't this just a case of sheep catching a tiger? Looking at the banking industry, it's not urgent. You only need to obtain a banking qualification certificate within 1 year. Zhou Shun has extensive experience, first explaining that Liu's current situation is not urgent, and then his ultimate goal. I have an urgent loan application to submit, and I need to make a copy of this application. Could you please help me? During the conversation, Zhou Shun had already placed a pile of materials on Liu's desk. Good guy, look at the thickness, there are even 80 sheets without 100. If this were to be copied one by one, it would take half an hour. Liu is a bit conflicted. As a young man who came out of the countryside, simplicity, honesty, and kindness are deeply ingrained in his bones. When faced with requests from others, he is generally hesitant to refuse. Just as he was gritting his teeth and preparing to help, a new task suddenly came to mind. Task. First of all, refuse to accept additional work. Reward. 500 yuan. I'll wipe it. Is this okay too? Liu's heart was filled with joy, and his face was even more radiant with a smile than Zhou Shun's. Zhou Shunmeng was overwhelmed. This young man won't be sick, will he? Why are you laughing so happily when others come to work for you? Seeing Zhou Shun looking at him in shock, Liu quickly restrained his smile. Calm down. Calm down. We can't expose it anymore. Liu wanted to refuse, but found a very awkward problem. He had just had a conversation with Zhou Shun and had already blocked the path he had refused. Normally, Liu has no way out and can only grit his teeth to continue his work. This is also a pitfall that many newcomers in the workplace easily fall into. They do dirty and tiring work, and their leaders cannot see it. Their grades are all from others. At this point, if you find another far-fetched reason to refuse help, it is easy to offend people and spread the word of mouth, so, well, I'm quite clumsy. I have to prepare for the exam a year in advance and not miss a minute, otherwise I won't be able to get the job qualification. Liu gave a faint smile and said a reason why he thought it was bullshit. Oh, I'm so innocent that I should say such a thing. It's really infuriating. It's all because the system tempted me. Sure enough, Zhou Shun's smile suddenly fell, and his face was filled with uncontrollable anger. This is a slap in the face. The new employee on the first day of work is so crazy, great. Although the conversation between the two was not loud, everyone could naturally hear them in the small office, and the other 5 people in the office cast various strange gazes. Chen Xiaoming almost burst into laughter in his heart. Hee, let you bully the newcomer, have you kicked the iron plate now? I felt very comfortable when I remembered that I had just started work and had been bullied by Zhou Shun's old fogies. Watching everyone looking at him, Zhou Shun felt a burning pain on his face. Unfortunately, reality is not a novel after all, and Zhou Shun could not have had a falling out with Li Yu over such a trivial matter. He could only break his teeth and swallow it in his stomach. But he already hates Li Yu to death in his heart, and he must find this place again in the future. Zhou Shun returned unhappily. This is a tough criticism, not easy to provoke. Thinking of Li Yu suddenly landing in the marketing department, some lively people are already speculating about his background. Honest and kind gentlemen, such as Chen Xiaoming, are generally poor children with little family background. He has a strong temper and is not easy to provoke. Generally, he has a strong background in relationships. Li Yu didn't know that he was inexplicably covered in an unfounded background, and now he is all focused on counting money. Task completed, bonus of 500 yuan. The cumulative outstanding bonus is 152,400 yuan. The bank is indeed making money, and the speed of fishing at the barbecue stall cannot match the speed of horse riding. Li Yu felt happy in his heart. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Tea Room Station God. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 8. Iron Will. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Iron Will. The next day, I just walked into the office without a word. Su Lin pulled Li Yu to a hidden place next to her seat. The two of them were almost pressed together, their hands were so soft, and their bodies still emitted a faint fragrance. Li Yu's heart was pounding. I came a bit early today, and there are only Su Lin and Li Yu in the office, who are lonely men and women. Is it, Li Yu, Chen Xiaoming has a problem with your client? Oh. Well, it turns out you're talking about this thing, it startled me. What's the problem? In terms of business, Li Yu is completely clueless now, and Su Lin is the only one he can trust in the office. You are still on probation, and the most important thing is to become a regular within 3 months. And what is needed for becoming a regular employee is deposits and loans. Chen Xiaoming showed your clients that either there is no potential for a company or there is no cooperation with us. In short, it will not be of any help to you. Seeing that Li Yu didn't quite understand, Su Lin picked up the list. Yen Dun Street has only opened an account with us, and there has been no deposit in the account. The leader has gone to public relations, but it has not been effective. Weixin Construction Company has a large scale, but it is useless. Previously, President Liu personally visited and did not cooperate. Xiaoniu Electric Vehicle Company has a loan of 5 million yuan in our branch, but the company's operations are average and there is no core technology or potential to tap into. After listening to Su Lin's words, Li Yu finally understood. This Chen Xiaoming is really cunning, with potential customers in his hands and garbage customers thrown at him. Do you really think I'm easy to bully? Li Yu was thinking of having a good conversation with Chen Xiaoming when the sound of the system suddenly sounded in his mind. Task. The client's business is small, continue to fish for fish. Bonus. 2,000 yuan. I'll wipe it. Can this also trigger system tasks? Li Yu found that this system was simply insane. Whenever you want to do something serious, the system will use coins to corrode your steel like will. But the coins are really fragrant, forget it, let's not argue with him about this small matter. Thank you very much for reminding Lin. I'll treat you to milk tea tomorrow. Li Yu was very magnanimous in not arguing with Chen Xiaoming, and Su Lin was taken aback. What? Is this still a small matter? Su Lin wanted to talk to Li Yu about the seriousness of the matter again, but when she saw someone pushing the door into the office, she could only temporarily give up. Task completed, bonus of 2,000 yuan. The cumulative outstanding bonus is 155,800 yuan. 2,000 yuan bonus received, perfect. Although we can no longer trouble Chen Xiaoming, Su Lin's reminder is correct. Li Yu then remembered that Cheng Lu had said that he must complete the task of adding 30 million yuan in loans or 60 million yuan in deposits within a 6-month probationary period. Hey, it's so difficult to find a fish in the bank. Task. Water Group. Bonus. 200 yuan per hour. Li Yu is speechless. This system is really unique, and the task content is concise and concise. Fortunately, our understanding ability is strong. Open the external computer, log into QQ, and use the username Moyu. This is the nickname that Li Yu should have after obtaining the system, Jing. As soon as QQ logged in, a series of pop-up reminders popped up, and the chat bar was filled with various chat groups. The top groups were all 99+ unread chat records. These are all the groups that Li Yu has been fishing for during this period, including blind date and friendship groups, single mothers groups, single and divorced groups, and resource exchange groups. Well, Li Yu usually doesn't join the chat group mentioned above. Opening the Huizhou Province Network Novel Hobbies group, Li Yu began to seriously explore the fish. Moyu. Do you have any good novels recommended recently? Xu Huang. Li Yu spends most of his time in the group, sometimes searching for novels that he can read. He simply spends time fishing, so his popularity in the group is relatively high. Just sent a message here, and the group immediately became lively. Xiao Lan, who is playing on the street, said, "The boss is here. I would like to introduce myself to Rebirth. Invincible Campus Overlord, and ask the boss to collect it." Shu Hai Wuya said, "The books upstairs can be cut, appraisal is complete." Whispering in the Wind. Top. Moyu. Do you have any novels that don't pretend to be funny? I've been reading them lately and I've almost died from poisoning. Dog. Isn't it nice to pretend to be and slap your face? Seeing Little Dog bubbling, Li Yu, who was originally lazy, immediately became interested because Little Dog was the group leader. His real identity is a reviewer-editor for Chiezi Novel Network. He established this group to gain a deeper understanding of the trends in the online literature market and to attract submissions from some authors. As one of the 3 hegemons in the online literary world, Eggplant Novel Network has a great influence in the industry. Li Yu rarely finds an object to complain about, and suddenly becomes interested. Moyu. At Little Dog, Dog Editor, can you change the taste of the review? In the future, if you want to continue these dog blood divorce novels, I will have to change the website. Being called a dog editor by Li Yu, the leader of the Little Dog group, is not angry. He knows about Moyu, and he values the opinions of VIP readers on the Serious Eggplant website. Dog. You're making things difficult for me. I'm just a small reviewer and editor, and I can't change the direction of the industry. Moyu. Dog Editor, you are too humble. As a first-hand reviewer and editor, as long as you read more novels with different styles, there will always be gold that can shine. Shu Hai Wuya said, Moyu is right. I think you can take a sword to the side. A single branch is not spring, and 100 flowers bloom in the garden. Whispering in the Wind. Top. Xiao Lan, who was struggling with the street, said, Hey, it's easy to say but difficult to write. I've tried different styles of novels before, but I ended up struggling and feeling overwhelmed. Shu Hai Wuya said, I think the ink fish expert has a deep understanding of online literature. How about trying to write a book too? I will definitely subscribe and support it when the time comes. Moyu. I work at a bank, but I don't have time to write novels. Li Yu chuckled in his heart. As long as we have a group of water, we can make money. We can only write novels when we have enough to eat. Shu Hai Wuya said, huh? Didn't you do business before? Moyu. Entrepreneurship failed, I can only go to the bank to work. Shu Hai Wuya. You're such a big shot. I admire you. Boss, kneel down and beg for subscription. Water schools, touching fish, time flies by so fast. A few months ago, I set up a stall at night and slept in the morning without a complete rest period. Today is Friday, and Li Yu originally thought of getting off work quickly. He could go out and have some fun on Saturday and Sunday. As a result, I suddenly received a notice that we were going to have a dinner together tonight with the theme of welcoming new members. Li Yu's head suddenly swelled. It's tiring to go to work and fish during the day, okay? And at night, I have to drink with my leader. Is that interesting? The only good thing is that the system did not deduct overtime pay. Sister Lin, are we having a dinner and drinking together in the department? Li Yu sneaked up to Su Lin and asked quietly. There's no way. Li Yu is really hesitant about drinking. It's strange to say that Li Yu's father, Li Dafu, is a brewer at a distillery in the town, so his alcohol tolerance goes without saying. However, Li Yu has been allergic to alcohol since childhood and can easily pour it out. Because of this matter, Comrade Li Dafu was deeply conflicted in his heart. Su Lin glanced at Li Yu's embarrassed expression and suddenly understood something, feeling a burst of laughter in her heart. You don't have a good tolerance for alcohol. Oh, how can a man say he can't do it? Okay, it's just pouring 1 cup. Su Lin pursed her lips and couldn't help but give Li Yu a charming white eye, exuding a youthful charm. You, remember, if your alcohol tolerance is not good, don't bring the glass. Li Yu quickly understood. Dry wine is like a dry fight. If you want to be cowardly, you will be completely cowardly, and if you want to be ruthless, you will be as ruthless as you can be. The dinner party was held at the Shiqing Building Hotel, a bit far from the branch, and Li Yu consciously bumped into Su Lin's little BMW. The interior of BMW is very warm, exuding the scent of a little woman everywhere. Li Yu sat naturally in the passenger seat, feeling a bit cramped. The passenger seat did not have an electric adjustment function, so he had to bend down and manually adjust it. Su Lin sat in the driver's seat and casually threw her coat to the back row. Li Yu looked up and saw that Su Lin was fastening her seatbelt at just the right angle. Li Yu was very helpless. Temptation is everywhere. A pure and flawless young man like himself cannot just be corrupted like this. Silently sit up straight, looking straight ahead with both eyes. But in this narrow and enclosed space, there is always a faint fragrance seeping into the nose, making people feel the urge to bury themselves at the source and take a deep breath. In order to ease his inner restlessness, Li Yu could only take the initiative to find a topic. Sister Lin, I didn't expect you to be a hidden wealthy woman. Isn't this luxury car cheap? Su Lin slowly started the car and made several beautiful turns before smoothly exiting the parking lot, unlike the legendary terrifying female driver. What kind of luxury car am I? If we talk about money, it belongs to Zhou Shun's family, who is the wealthiest in the department. The restaurant we went to today is his family. Speaking of Zhou Shun, Li Yu became interested. As soon as he arrived at the marketing department, he had a minor conflict with 2 people. One was Chen Xiaoming, who had some conflicting interests, and the other was Zhou Shun. Their conflict was more like Zhou Shun finding fault. Thinking of Zhou Shun's usually high-spirited expression, it is indeed true that the second generation of wealthy people have a problem with their brains. The 2 chatted together in a relaxed and pleasant atmosphere. The marketing department had a small gathering, with only 8 people in total. However, Zhou Shun still reserved a large private room for 16 people very coquettishly. Judging from everyone's accustomed expressions, Li Yu estimated that Zhou Shun would definitely show off in this area on a regular basis. Director it's still early. Let's play 2 cards first. The dinner party of the people of Hefei is basically inseparable from playing cards, with the main part being beaten eggs. For this kind of commercial dinner party, Li Yu is still the first to participate, and he doesn't know how to play games like Guangdan. Fortunately, there are 4 people who can play at the scene, including He Siming, Zhou Shun, Wang Jiangwo, and Chen Xiaoming. They sit around a small table dedicated to playing cards and start playing. Li Yu was also a bit curious about how to play with Guangdan. While he was enjoying it, Zhou Shun suddenly said, "Hey, Li Yu, don't just focus on looking at the cards. Hurry up and pour Director He a cup of tea." Could you also pour me a cup? How to say it, although this is said from a person's mouth, it just has a feeling that makes people feel nauseous. Li Yu's eyebrows furrowed slightly, and he was not foolish either. If he obediently went to pour tea and became someone's younger brother, He Siming would also praise Zhou Shun in his heart for his vision. I understand it's one thing in my heart, but it's not easy for Li Yu to refuse directly. Refusing means not serving the leader. Just as he was struggling in his heart, the system's task suddenly rang. Task. Push the service work to the waiters, and enjoy the whole meal. Bonus. 500 yuan per hour. Special reward. The first move of the secret technique for storing wine. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Live broadcasting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 10. Unexpected gains in the gym. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Unexpected gains in the gym. An accident added insult to injury to the already ending dinner party. No matter who is full or not, it is impossible for them to have any appetite today. Su Lin supported Li Yu, who was already drunk and unable to walk steadily, throughout the journey. "Hey, you said you can't drink and still show off, you know you're amazing, right?" After finally stomping Li Yu into the back seat of the car, Su Lin bent over and couldn't help but lightly slap him. It's just autumn now, and Su Lin is wearing a thin blue dress, with a slightly open neckline and a beautiful color in her bag for 3 meals. At this moment, Li Yu happened to wake up 3 minutes after drinking, slightly opening his eyes and pretending to close them, but it didn't affect his vision. Su Lin felt a little touched in her heart. This was the first time she had ever encountered a man who worked so hard for her. Thinking about the lazy ghost in her own family, Su Lin couldn't help but feel a hint of sadness in her heart. Life is like this, it's always difficult to meet the right person at the right time. The fish fishing task at the dinner party has been completed, taking 3 hours. Bonus. 1,500 yuan. The cumulative outstanding bonus is 159,000 yuan. Special reward. Secret technique for storing wine. The reward was received, and he also helped, rubbed and looked at it. The honest and honest Li Yu also stopped pretending. "Sister Lin, I woke up from drinking." "Oh." Seeing that Li Yu was already sitting upright, although her face was still slightly red, it did not look like she had just been drunk. Su Lin's head went dizzy for 2 seconds. "Are young people this fast?" "Oh, as long as you wake up, I don't even know where you live. You just had a headache." Su Lin didn't realize that Li Yu had just pretended to be drunk, and she breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. "Where do you live? I'll send you back first." The Talent Apartment in Binhu District is located at the intersection of Fangxing Avenue and Yulong Road. The fragrant car beauties personally served all the way, feeling incredibly comfortable. Another day full of harvest. Accustomed to the busy life of setting up a stall at night and sleeping during the day, I suddenly feel a sense of confusion and discomfort when I have some free time. How about going home and taking a look? Thinking that he hadn't been home for 3 months, Li Yu felt a bit homesick. "Hello, Mom, are you at home today?" "No, I'm busy working in the factory. Just let me know if you have anything to say. I haven't seen you for several months, but Mr. Hu's style still hasn't changed, so friendly." "Oh, I finally had a weekend off. Didn't I just want to come back and visit the old couple? Hee hee. Li Yu's eyelids twitched. This tone is not very kind. Have you found your girlfriend yet? Hey, talk about going home so well, why did you bring up your girlfriend again? Why did you come back without finding your girlfriend? I haven't seen you before, have I? Hello, hello. Ha. No sound. Why is the signal disconnected? After hanging up the phone decisively, Li Yu touched the cold sweat on his forehead and thought to himself, I really have nothing to do to cause trouble. Hurry up and go and die. Fortunately, Boss Hu was kind and did not call after him. Li Yu flipped through his phone again and finally thought of his good college friend Zhang Bo. Hey, Bobo, what are you doing? Hello, whoa, a heavy gasping sound came from the other end of the phone, winky face, the day falls by the mountains. Bobo is so vulgar. Cough, I'm not disturbing you and your siblings, should I wait a minute before calling you? Well, 1 minute should be enough time. After a while, the person across from the conversation finally reacted and said, shit. I'm working out in the gym. Okay, Li Yu just remembered that Zhang Bo, like himself, is a single dog. Working out all day is useless, isn't it just a single dog? I am at least a healthy dog, and if you don't exercise, you will become a useless dog. The two of them had a non-nutritious meal and sprayed each other. As good friends, this was a routine operation. No place to go. I'm at the Jinlishi gym, not far away. Come and have a walk together. It's so pitiful. There's no girl to talk about, but I ended up masturbating with my friends. Jinlishi is a well-known chain gym with 3 branches in the Binhu district. The store where Zhang Bo works out is only 2 kilometers away from the talent apartment, and it only takes 5 or 6 minutes to ride a small electric donkey. As soon as she walked to the entrance of the gym, a girl wearing tight-fitting fitness clothes, with a front and back curve, took the initiative to greet her and asked with a youthful smile on her face. Welcome to Jinlishi Fitness. May I ask if you are a member of our store, sir? Li Yu first glanced inside the gym through the glass door. By the way, I really just looked up, down, left, right, back and forth at the girl in front of me with a stunning figure. She has a good figure, a sweet appearance, and is a reliable Kong Barbie. Oh, this is my first time here. How much do you charge here? Fat sheep, no, it's a new customer coming, and the smile on the girl's face suddenly became even happier. What is the name, sir? Li Yu. A plump and robust girl has excellent professional skills and marketing language. If customers like it, they will ask for the price. A skilled salesperson will not immediately answer the price. But it's about discussing products and services first, and then slowly touching on the most sensitive aspect of users. Price. Hello Mr. Li, my name is Sun Ru and I am the deputy store manager of this store. Just call me Xiao Ru. Our Jinlishi Fitness has 4 chain stores in Hefei City. The store you see now has a total area of 1,600 square meters, including a fitness area, a constant temperature swimming area, a leisure area, and a washing area. Li Yu felt that Sun Ru was a bit humble. Clearly it was Daru. After introducing the advantages and services of Jinlishi Gym, Daru officially introduced the charging situation of the gym. For individual customers, they can charge a daily fee of 100 yuan. If Mr. Li lives nearby, he can apply for a membership card. If he is doing an activity now, the 1-year annual card is only 3,999 yuan, and the 2-year card is even more favorable, only 5,999 yuan. Li Yu calculated in his heart and found that the fee for Jinlishi Fitness is really not expensive. Fitness plus swimming, leisure internet access, and some simple snacks and drinks are also provided. With so many projects charging 100 yuan a day, if you apply for an annual pass, it would cost over 10 yuan a day. It's really cheap. As a part of the health industry, gyms have also experienced rapid development in the past decade. However, sometimes a faster pace of development means more intense competition, and prices naturally decrease. Liu used to be an ordinary college student, so naturally he didn't understand these things. These business information are all additional gains he has gained recently from fishing and surfing the internet. Daru finished her introduction and looked at Liu with anticipation. Whether or not you can earn a commission today depends on the ordinary young man in front of you. Sun Ru felt quite dramatic. When she introduced the price, Liu smiled throughout the entire process, clearly satisfied with the price. Based on her experience, there is a high probability of this type of customer closing the deal. The prices of chain gyms are all transparent. Liu cannot bargain, nor will he bargain. We are systematic people, and we don't lack this little money. This is my first time here, can I experience it for free for a day? Yeah, we can't bargain, can we have a free experience? Not embarrassing. We don't lack money, but if we can't withdraw it, there's nothing we can do. Oh. Hey, I've taken a look. Sun Ru suddenly let out her breath, and the large stone in her chest collapsed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Customers who want to experience it for free are most likely those who prefer to apply oil and take advantage, commonly known as free prostitution. Although feeling a bit disappointed, Sun Ru persisted in smiling and said, "Sure, new customers can experience it for free for the first time." Liu took the free experience card given by Sun Ru, swiped it, and walked into the gym. Indeed, as Dara said, the hardware conditions of the gym are beyond words. Although Liu doesn't understand fitness, the dazzling array of fitness equipment looks very professional. What satisfied Liu the most was the atmosphere here. On weekends, white-collar workers don't work and sit in the office for a week. The healthiest way to rest is through exercising. Although it was almost noon at this time, there were not a few people in the gym. Liu scanned the gym time and time again, and his eyes were full of girls wearing tight-fitting clothes and bodybuilding pants. There are convex ones on the top, upturned ones on the bottom, and sewn ones in the middle. Where is Zhang Bo? Liu's eyes cannot accommodate men. Old Li. Why didn't you call me when you came? A surprising yet melancholic voice came from behind. It goes without saying, it's my good friend Zhang Bo. Liu is very speechless. With so many girls, what other friends do he need? Okay, you Bobo. There's such a great place for you to hide your secrets alone. You agreed to be single until you're bald together. Do you want to sneak out of it? Liu hugged Zhang Bo's neck with a very angry expression. Hey, be gentle. I called you a few times, but you didn't come by yourself. Zhang Bo struggled to break free from Liu's warm embrace and quickly secretly stroked his hair. With so many girls in the gym, his hairstyle should not be messy. Okay, Liu remembered. Zhang Bo did ask him to exercise together before, but at that time, Liu was busy setting up a street stall every day and didn't have time to come over. Now it's different. The bank works from Monday to Friday, with weekends off on Saturdays and Sundays. Liu has plenty of time, but the key is that he earns a lot of money from fishing. In college, although Liu was relatively homey, he played basketball once or twice a week, and his physical fitness ranked 15.16 among all the boys in the class. He also ranked first among the 17 boys in the class. After graduation, I was completely abandoned. After fishing for more than 3 months, I felt like my waist was rusty. It's time to get back to the peak. Liu lifted his arms, stretched left and right, warmed up and expanded his chest, ready to engage in a big battle. Task. Fishing in the gym. Bonus. 200 yuan per hour. Special reward. Good figure plus 1/hour. Liu was bewildered. What's the situation? Isn't it during working hours that I only give fishing rewards? Also, what is the special reward for good figure? Do you think so? End of this chapter.